Respected friends, welcome you all for the study of this sublime text, Shri Yoga Vaashishtha Maharamayana Shastram, and also Adi Shankara's Prashnottara Ratnamalika. These texts very subtle, very deep, yet only one job we have to do is continuously, consistently, relentlessly, we keep on listening. If we can assure ourselves of that, the rest is taken care. That means the understanding of the subject starts happening. With that, Shraddha, Bhakti, Sharanagati, that we are here studying this text. How much are big the text may be? 32,000 shlokas. The final subject matter is Paramatma alone is real. We have to realize that Paramatma has everything. Everything other than him is mithya. Therefore, we live in that mithya jagat, knowing it as mithya without giving it any satyata, therefore not getting bound by it. All these understandings, practices, anubhutis make it the Adhyatmika Jivan. Yoga Vasishtha Maharamayam, third Utpatthi Prakaranam, we are in that also the 11th Sarga Paramartha VARNANAM. Here the entire text is Sri Rama Sri Vaashishtha Samvada. Sri Rama the Shishya Yogya Shishya Vaashishtha ji the Uttama Guru. As Vaashishtha ji is explaining, Sri Rama ji keeps on asking Prashna. So let us also be qualified with Viveka Vairagya like Sri Rama, tuned to Rama, understand his Prashna. Thereafter, also listen and understand the Uttara given by Vasishtha Guru. As Rama's Ajnana is going away, Jnanam is coming, Moha goes away, Spashtata comes. Same happens to us also. Same is with every of the Upanishad study, every of the Gita Adi Shastra study. If we do, that result will accrue to us. With these few words, let us start with our Mangalacharana shlokas. Om, 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 Om Sahanavavatu, Sahanau Hunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः सच्चास्त्राः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने। ओम तस्मै श्री गुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे। विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहम्। तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्रीगुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नताः स्मः। पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरपि कलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ओम ब्रह्मानंदं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। परं ब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तं ब्रह्मभक्तियोगधर्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री वशिष्ठ विश्वामित्र वाल्मीकि वेद व्यास वामदेव नारदादि ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो नमः। श्रीरामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषद योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं श्रुति स्मृति पुराणेतिहास संतवाङ्मयोक्त साध्य साधनानुभव सिद्ध्यर्थं तत्रोक्त ऋषिमुनि गुरुदेवता दर्शनानुग्रहानुभव प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्म से विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थम अस्मिन् सनातन धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्ध अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि समस्त मंदिराणाम् आश्रमाणां पुण्यदिव्य क्षेत्राणां विश्वविद्यालय भूभागादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापना उपासना यज्ञ याग साधना सेवा तपस्या प्रार्थनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रूणां शाश्वत रूपेण समूल निर्मूलनार्थं भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणात् आरभ्य वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः सुसंप्रतिष्ठा अवाप्त्यर्थं विश्वे मोक्ष धर्म पुरुषार्थ प्रतिष्ठा द्वारा विश्व संरक्षणाभिवृद्ध्यर्थं अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्म भगवत् देवता गुरु शास्त्र सत्संग साधना सेवा माता पितृ देश धर्म सनातन धर्म भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं श्री आद्य शंकर कृत प्रश्नोत्तर रत्नमालिका अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्नं संक्षिप्त स्कंद पुराण पारायणं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रं मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शन दृश्य भूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकराः यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभो यो विभाति अवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। ओमत श्रीरामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रीयोग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रं तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणं परमार्थ वर्णनं नाम एकादश सर्गः। Shri Vaashishtha Uvacha, Shri Rama Uvacha. Friends, Rama Vasishtha Samvada Rupi, this Adbhuta Shastra, we are doing the Adhyanam of Yoga Vasishtha Maharamayam. As it was said 10 minutes back, keep on listening to the literal meaning. If possible, little of contemplation we are able to do slowly, steadily. By the end of the study of this bulky big Shastra, definitely the main theme that's being conveyed to us will be able to grasp. All said and done, it is again the practically the sadhanas of Vyatireka of the Anatma, Anvaya of the Atma, necessarily to be done to realize the Atman, get moksha from the Anatma. Without Siddhanta Jnana, sadhana cannot be done. Without sadhana, Siddhanta Jnana is not going to give us moksha. In gaining this Siddhanta Jnana, in doing sadhana to get the moksha alone, we have to spend our entire time. This is the highest wisdom. Anything else other than this is by our own choice. We are only involving in the delusions, in the bondages. May this spashtata come to us very spashtaruped. Right. Now, yesterday, where this Jagat goes into Mahapralaya Kala, it won't be there. But where it goes? That was the question of Rama. So instead of directly answering, a question in return asked by, in reply, Sri Vasishtha ji, ki where from the Vandhyamutra comes, where he stays, where he goes, where from the Akasha, Vana Kanana comes, where it stays, where it goes. The answer given by Rama is no, it is only words. There are no corresponding objects. Therefore, their arrival, their stationing, their darshana, drishyata are never there. Therefore, their destruction, adarshanata, also is impossible. If you have understood it, Rama, in the same way is the entire Drishya Jagat. It has never come from anything, nor it stays anywhere. Never it gets destroyed also. Like the Vandhyaputra, like the Akasha Kanana. Very clearly it is said. Then Sri Rama says, this Vandhyaputra and this Akasha Kanana, though they are not realistically there, but their kalpana can be done, in which we can consider it is created, and it can be vikalpita, in which we can imagine its destruction. So, can we that way say the Jagat also Kalpanika existing, Jagat also can be destroyed? This is the question. To this, Vasishtaji's answer we have to study today. So, Vasishtaji takes up another way of explaining. In that another way of explaining, what will he prove is, what will he tell us is, it is Brahman alone appearing as Jagat. Therefore, Brahman eternally there. You put your drishti on that. Then all your questions and answers regarding Jagat get eliminated. Gold alone is there, no any of the ornaments. So the questions regarding ornaments that way also can be eliminated. The Manabuddhi Ajnana try to establish the Dvaita Jagat. In that only there is samsara. The Guru, the Shastra, the Guru Padesha tries to establish only the Brahman. In that there is no samsara. So by listening to Guru's Vakyas, Upadeshas, Yuktis, Pramanas, Upamanas, we have to understand that Brahman alone is there, and that is me. All that slowly you get out of that thing. Get that thing also out of you. Vaguely further little Vyavahara, let there be Jagat. Only for Vyavahara. More than that, never have any thought even of the Jagat. Then where will we have any samsara? That's how the Vedanta guides us. In the guidance of this Vedanta, there is no fear. There is no notion. There is no escapism. It's all revealing of the reality. Is it that out of fear or out of escapism that we are coming out of the dream into the waking world? No. Then the waking is reality. In the realization of this reality, the waking, the whole dream is dissolved along with its entire samsara of karma, karma phala, sukha, dukkha. In the same way, the Sat Brahma Prapti is the prayatna, not palayana from the Jagat. In the Sat Brahma Jnana or Prapti, the Jagat by itself gets palayana, goes away. And never ever give sympathy to this Jagat. Never ever give the sympathy to the Jiva. Never ever give the sympathy to the Upadhis. Then we will get caught up. Just like in samsara, to whomever we give extra sympathy, emotion, whether it's wife or husband or children or servants or dogs or property or people, are we not getting bound by that? Because once you give sympathy, it gathers the status of reality. Once it gathers state of reality, we get conditioned by it, bound by it. All this is moha, all this is ajnana. What do we do when we wake up from the dream? No more sympathy given to anything of the dream. That's why the dream doesn't affect us further anymore. We are liberated. In Jagrata also, to whichever the thing we have devalued, not given any sympathy and emotion, quickly that has gone away from our life, stopping, never again troubling us at all. These are all the wisdoms we have to understand through various experiences. So, Vandhya Sri Rama Uvacha Vandhya Putra Nabho Vruksha Kalpana Tavadasti. He Vaashishtha Guru Kalpana Asti Vandhya Putra and Nabho Vruksha Akasha Vruksha Sa Yatha Nasa Janmadhya. They were through Kalpana, the Janma is there. Through the Vikalpana, the Nasha is there. Of these two examples of Vandhyaputra and Navavruksha. Tatha eva idam nakim bhavet. Why not the idam rupi jagat also be like this? That it is having kalpanika janma, kalpanika nasha. So this is how the mind somehow or the other wants to hold on to the jagat. The gurus know. This is how the moha, the ajnana of this sadhaka jiva is intelligently working. Therefore, the Guru finds another way to dissolve this issue. That is, what is it? He says, Shri Vaashishtha Uvacha Tulyasya Tuladustasya Bhavakaihi Kilatolanam Niranvaya Yathai Jagat Satta Tathaivahi. So, so Tulyasya Atuladustasya Bhavakaihi Kilatolanam. There is always tolana, comparison between two similar things. So, niranvaya yatha eva ukti jagat sattha tataiva hi. Therefore, the example of Vandhyaputra, the example of Akasha Kanana is not given for the Kalpanikata. They are given for the proof or saying that they are really never existing. Same way, the Jagat really never exists. To convey this point, the two udaharanas are given. Even Kalpanika Satta also why are you giving? Especially when it is going to bind you only. This is how, है Really, if it is not there, Kalpana mein ho sakta hoga. Like some people leave us and gone. But still in the mind we carry them and keep on having the asha that that object or that person again will come back in my life. Why do you think? Even if it is the guru or the mother or father, let them leave and go. The Lord again will come in another form if required. Why we have to hold on to? But in the Kalpana we hold. That also cause of problem and that also the effect of delusion. We need not have that. Vyavahar mein. Usi tarah Sri Ramji was asking that. Bhagavan says the tulyata even between Vandhyaputra Akashakanana for the Jagat is to say that as much Vandhyaputra and the Vriksha, Akasha never existed, so to the Jagat also never exists. Now, let me put it in the other way. What is the other way? Sri Ramji says, Vaashishtha says, these four shlokas now I am chanting 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll see the meaning of it. Yatha sauvarna katake drisyamanamidam sputam katakatvam tu naivasti जगत्वं न तथा परे आकाशे च यथा नास्ति शून्यत्वं व्यतिरेकवत् जगत्वं ब्रह्मणि तथा नास्त्येवाप्युपलब्धिमतो कज्जलात् न यथा कार्ष्ण्यं शैत्यं च न यथा हिमात् पृथक् एवं भवेत् बुद्धं जगन्नास्ति परे पदे यथा शैत्यं न शशिनः न हिमाद्व्यतिरिच्यते ब्रह्मणो न तथा सर्गः विद्यते व्यतिरेकवान्. Very crucial, very subtle explanation, decoding. Let us see if we are able to grasp it. He says, Yatha Savarna Katake, just like in a Kataka, the bangle made out of Suvarna, gold, golden bangle, bracelet, golden Kada, Savarna Katake, Drishyamanam idam sputam Katakatvam. The Katakatva, the bangleness, which is sputam, very clearly Drishyamanam, very clearly seen. That Kataka, the bangleness. And that's why it is wore in the hand. Then the people ask also, कि ये कड़ा आपने कहाँ खरीदा? So bangle is looking very good or beautiful. That's what they say. We also show to others if somebody have not observed. See the new kada or kataka or bangle I am wearing. Therefore, dushyamanam idam sputam katakam tvam. But if you use your brains little deeperly, go look into the cause of the kataka and the presence of that cause in the kataka. Cause of the kataka is gold. Presence of that gold, which is the cause of the kataka, inside the kataka. Where is it? Everywhere. And if that way you agree that in the kataka, at every spot, gold and gold and gold alone is there, necessarily we have to accept that. Therefore, Kataka, Suvarna alone is there, Kataka Nasti. That's the meaning. Yatha Savarna Katake Drushyamanam idam sputam katakatvam tu naiva asti. Sputam Drushyamanam for a deluded onlooker, superficial onlooker, Vyavaharik onlooker, utility based onlooker. For him, sputam, what? Katakam. But for a vicharanashila vyakti, that katakatvam to naiva asti. Never it is there. Pause here till that thought enters into us. So the karana drishtya karyam nasteva. Swarna rupi karana drishtya katakam nasteva. Drishti, if you see from the karana. Where's the karya? Others call, you wear it in the hand. When you go to the shop, you bargain it as kataka only and buy it as kataka only. In the bill also it is mentioned, the golden bangles. That's how Dushyamanam sputam katakatvam. But Vicharanat ke dwara naivasti, never that katakam is there. In the same way, Dushyamanam sputam jagatvam. The entire jagat of Stula Sukshma Karana, Vyashti Samashti, with all its Rupanama, Shabda Sparsha, Rupa Rasagandha, all of it is Dushyamanam Sputam. This Jagatva. Lekin, when you go into the cause of the entire Jagat, which will be found as pure Shuddha Sat Rupi Brahma, in that Brahman, which is called here as Pare, Natatha, the entire this Drishyamana Jagatvam naivasti. So the cause gold, when you look from its standpoint, no katakatvam at all. The cause, the Sat Brahma, when you look from that standpoint, no Namarupatmaka Jagat at all. For a Haribari onlooker, the Kataka was there. For a non-thinking onlooker, Vyavaharik person, Namarupatmaka Jagat is there. For a Sukshma Vicharanavan person, cause Rupi Swarna alone is there, no Kataka. For a Sukshma Vicharanavan person, the cause Rupi Sat Brahma alone is there, no Rupanama Jagat. Here one Kataka example given. Take 10 ornaments, each of different shapes and sizes. In the Vyavahara, Drushyamanam Sputam, all of them. But going to the cause of them, one cause, should the Swarna alone is there. Look from Swarna standpoint, none of the ornaments there. So too, in and through every of the things of the world, the substratum is Sat Brahma. One Sat Brahma. From that Sat Brahma Drishti, all of them also are Naivasti. Okay. Then if Katakatvam is Naivasti, then what is Asti? Swarnam Asti. So too the Drishyamana Jagat, if it is Nasti, then what is there which you and I are calling as Drishyamana Jagat? So what is that which that person is calling as bangle or ornament is gold only. So what is that which we are seeing and calling it as Jagat of Rupanama is Brahman alone. That's why Sat Brahma Karyam Sakalam. Therefore Sadeva. Sanmatrametat. Everything is Sad only. Na tataha anyadasti. There is nothing other than Sat Brahma. Asti itiyo bhakti. It may be bhati, appearing, but it is not asti. It may be appearing, but it is not real. If somebody says it is real, natasya mohaha vinirgataha. He has not sufficiently contemplated on the karya rupa jagat to discover its karana. Therefore, his moha has not gone. If somebody says something other than the Brahman, the Jagat is existing, he is deluded. If somebody is there, is something other than the gold, the bangle is there, he is deluded. And maximum people are deluded. That doesn't make the bangle real. Everybody is deluded, say the whole world is real, and they do vyavahara in that. That doing vyavahara doesn't make the world real, just as wearing the bangle doesn't make the bangle real. The reality is gold. Two realities cannot be. Either gold must be real or the ornament, the bangle must be real. Sat Brahma must be real or Karana Rupanamatmaka Jagat must be real. Two realities cannot be. Rupanama are superimposed, therefore they are never real. The Adhisthana is always real. See that? This is how this Vedantic Jnanam, repeatedly we have to listen, contemplate, understand and start seeing the world from that standpoint. To help this only, in the Bhakti Marga, we are trained to see the Lord in all the rivers, the oceans, etc. We are trained to see the Lord in that stones, etc. Murti Rupa Puja. And in that stone Rupa, the Lord alone is there ultimately. Therefore, it is not only mere intellectual or mechanical practice, it's a fact also. Like I am doing the Vishnu Puja in Shalagrama. So it is at the sadhana level, I am training my mind to see the Vishnu in Shalagrama. It is training to me. But in its reality, what is that Shalagrama? It is really Vishnu only. Because when everything is Vishnu, the Shalagrama also has to be Vishnu. That is why the ones who see that Shalagrama as stone only appears to them. The ones who have done upasana of that Shalagrama, taking it as Vishnu, the Vishnu expresses to them, and the ones who discover the Shalagrama as Sad Brahma, to them the Sad Brahma alone is experienced in that Shalagrama. तो हम सबका स्टोन बुद्धि है, इसलिए हमको सब में पत्थर दिखता है. भक्त को विष्णु दिखता है, वेदांति को सर्वम ब्रह्ममय. Not mere words, Anubhuti. So to those Mahabhaktas from the Shalagrama, Vishnu came, heard to their prayers, stutis, blessed, and again gone back. And that Bhakta asks, for my sake, in this place, in this Shalagrama, O Lord, please permanently stay so that other Bhaktas also worship you and get blessed by you. Bhagavan says, Tathastu. That's how the Bhakta Sthapita, Swayambhu Ityadi, different Punya Kshetras, temples that are there in Bharatamata all over. I'm just telling you, connecting Purana and Vedanta. Okay, so Yatha Savarna Katake Drushyamanam idam sputam katakatvam tu naivasti jagatvam na tatha pare. Only gold is there, no ornaments. Only Parabrahma is there, no this Jagatu. Continuation in 4 or 5 examples. In this example, what we see, what is substrate, they are not two. So the Kataka and Swarna, they are not two. Swarna alone is real. So, Akashe cha yatha nasti shunyatvam vyatirekavatu. है ना? जगत्वं ब्रह्मणि तथा नास्ति वापि उपलब्धिमत्. See, akashe cha yatha nasti shunyatvam. In the space there is emptiness. We talk as if the space and emptiness are two things. In the space and in that emptiness, there is no karya karana sambandha. There is no visheshana visheshya sambandha. Whether you call it as akasha, whether you call it shunyata, you are talking about one thing only. It's mere the word usage is making as if there are two things called as akasha as well as the shunyata. So the suvarna and kataka, these are only two words which are as if making them appear two, but there is only one thing, and that is suvarna only. If you say kataka, that also suvarna only. So akasha and shunya. Akasha alone is there. There is nothing other than the akasha called shunya. If you are talking about the shunyata, it is akasha only. One example done. Same way, jagatvam brahmani tatha nasti eva api upalabdhimat. So in the same way, in the brahmana, the jagatva, tva means ness, the worldness, is never ever there, available, separate from the Brahman. It is only the words which talk about two things, the Karana, the Brahma, the two, the Karya, the Jagat. It's only the gimmick of the words as well as the Indriyas as well as the Manovrittis. They as if make us feel that there are two things, the Karana Brahma, the Karya Jagat. है तो एक ही actually. And there is no difference. No difference between Swarna and Kataka. No difference between Akash and Shunyata. No difference between Jagat and Brahman and Jagat. Brahman alone is called as Jagat. Brahman never became Jagat to such a way that the Brahman disappeared. Gold never became ornament in such a way that the gold is no more existing. Rather, gold alone is there in and through the entire ornament, the Kataka. So too, the Brahman Sad Vastu alone is there in the entire Shrishti Stula Sukshma Karana Veshti Samashti. Think about this. That Sat is not object. It is not any Indriya Gochara Vastu. It is an Anubhuti. Everything Asat, which is changeable, modifiable, destructible, rejected, that changeless what remains, that's called Sat. Rutam it is called in Taittiriya Upanishad Bhasha. Everything which goes on chasing is Anrutam. All that with changing destroyed is dropped. What substratum on which all these changes are superimposed, that unchanging Rutam substratum is called Sat, that is Brahman. That is the experience. And that is experienced as I am. Think. See, we are slowly entering into this subject. Very slowly. If you are very intense, vigorous, giving up every other thing, study only this subject, Staying in the ashram, Subha, Dopahar, Sham, then all that knowledge comes to us. What we are doing now? For half an hour, 1 hour, we are listening in the evening. Whole day, only Jagat we are feeling in our mind, and this little knowledge gained कहीं दबा ही है, दबा कर ही रहता है, उसको कोई मायना या वैल्यू होता ही. Throughout the day, where is the value for us? Where is the value given by us to this Brahma Vidya, to this Tattva Vidya, to this Atma Vidya? We are all keeping it away, just going into the worldliness. Just like the Guru, the Daiva, we need value throughout the day. हम उनको समझते हैं आधा घंटा पूजा कर दो बाकी काफी काफी है बाकी समय we can have all relativities and samsara. That is also a delusion. The reality is what? All the time we have to be in that Guru Smarana, Bhagavad Smarana, in those Upasana Kanda. Here, always in Sadbrahma Smarana. कर ही नहीं रहे हम. That's why samsara is not going away. The siddhi of Atma Anubhuti not coming to us. In fact, we are not doing any prayatna at all. Maximum prayatna is coming to the class, sitting here for some time, listening. But it's a very minimum prayatna, which we are doing maximum. इतना हम कर रहे हैं लेकिन कम से कम है तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा नहीं. निरंतर that सद्वस्तु चिंतन करते करते ही that सद्वस्तु we can catch. Keep it in mind. So Akasha Upamana is given to us. Next, Jagatvam Brahmani Tatha Nasti Evapi Upalabdhimat. Even though Jagat is seen for our transaction interaction, stop all those interactions, transactions, see the cause of the Jagat, you will reach to the Sad Brahma. Therefore, Sad Brahman alone is there, the Karana. In the Karya Rupa, Karya is never real by itself, independent by itself. And there are no two things called as Brahma and Jagat. No two things called Akasha and the Shunyata. Some more examples are given. What are they? Kajjala anna yatha karshnyam. There is nothing called as blackness of the eye text. Kajal, Kajjala, from that only the Kajal word came. So Kajal or Kalima, they are not two things. Kajal itself is Kalima, blackness. So Kajjalat Karshna. Karshnya means Krishnata means blackness. Are there two things? That the Kajal and its blackness? No. Kajal itself is black. Like sugar and its sweetness. They're not two things. Sugar itself is sweetness. Sweetness itself is sugar. But we use two words and put the word in between and. Sugar and its sweetness. As if there are two. So take away the sugar from sweetness. Will the sweetness remain? Take away sweetness from the sugar. Will you call it as sugar? There are two words used for one thing only. So to one Brahman only called as Jagat. One mud only called as the pot or gamla. It may have any utility. Don't worry or think or concerned about the utility. See the substrate. Vedanta talks about the adhisthana, the mula vastu, the sad vastu, the karana vastu. Think about it. Next, shaityam cha nayatha himat. The snow or the ice and the coldness. There are two things. Because take away the coolness, it is not called as ice. If there is no the aspect of the iceness, it cannot be cool like that. Then pruthak evam bhavet buddham jagannasti pare pade. In the same way, pare pade in the supreme reality, pruthak separately. Jagat, the word nasti eva, never there. In the supreme Brahman, something other than it called as Jagat नहीं है. ब्रह्मन ही जगत के रूप में देखा जा रहा है, बोला जा रहा है. See, to this explanation, Rama cannot have question now. What he talked about as Kalpana, who is doing the Kalpana? The Mana. Is the Mana existing or not? Yeah. Therefore, the Mana also is Brahman. Mano Kalpita, whole Jagat is Brahman. Jagat Sthuri Bhuta, even then it is Brahman. And all these Sthula Sushma Karanas are different status. Why are they? How are they? Just the infinite Shakti of Paramatma. Wherein, see, the infinite Shakti of water, without changing water, it appears as the wave or bubble. Like that. So, and again, yatha shaityam na shashinaha na himad vyatirichyate. So the shitata is never other than Shashi, the Chandrama, and Hima, the snow or the ice. The snow or the ice and the coolness, moon's light and the coolness, they are not two things. You may talk in two words. Same way, Brahmanaha na tatha sargaha vidyate vyatirekavad. Brahmana means other than Brahman, sargaha the creation, vyatirekavad, separate from him, na vidyate, never exists. There is nothing called as Jagat existing other than Brahman. Brahmanaha sargaha na vidyate vyatirekavad. Vyatirekavad means separate. Na vidyate means never exists. Jagat never exists apart from, other than, independent of Brahman. Therefore, the Brahman alone is there as this Jagat. What we are doing? The Sat Brahmatva छोड़कर जगत जो रूप नामात्मक है उसी को हम पकड़ रहे, उसी को हम सत्य मान, उसी में हम एन्चेंटेड हो रहे, उसी में deluded हो रहे. That's the power of the Maya at the totality level, avidya and moha at our individual level. That we get deluded. Think about it. एक बार that parda of the delusion goes away by the removal of the ajnana with the arrival of the knowledge. विद्या का आने के कारण अविद्या का निर्मूलन होकर मोह रूपी पर्दा जब निकल जाता है ना, दीदार, what you call, I don't know exact word, the darshana of the Sadvastu Sarvatra. That's our goal, not just intellectual apprehension or comprehension. We must have the Sad Brahma Anubhuti Sarvatra. That's the moksha, Sarvatmya Bhava. Morning class, we are seeing that only. सहस्र शीर्ष पुरुष सहस्राक्ष और अंगुष्ठ मात्र पुरुषोन्तरात्मा सदा जनाना हृदय सन्निविष्ट हृदा मन्वेषा मनसा विकृप्त एतद् विदुः अमृताः ते भवन्ति. So, example, Kajjala Kalima, not two. Akasha Shunyata, not two. Hima Chaitya, not two. Chandra Kirana Chaitya, not two. In the same way, Swarna, Kataka, not two. Brahman and Jagat are not two. What we are seeing is gold. We are calling it as the Kataka bangle. Understood? So what we are seeing is Brahman alone. We are calling it as the Jagat. By mistaken practice, which is going on from millions of lives, along with us, the others also are doing same. Therefore, majority democracy है ना, इसलिए सब जो कहते हैं मानते हैं, उसी को कह रहे मान रहे. And mind you, in that only there is samsara. That's why all are samsari. इनसे हटकर इस बहाव के ऑपोजिट जिन्होंने तैरना किया, कश्चित धीरः प्रत्यगात्मानम् ऐक्षत आवृत चक्षु अमृतत्वमिच्छन्, he could realize the Brahman and he is liberated. Others are buried in the Rupanamaatmaka Jagat, denied of the Brahman or denying the Brahman. But these Jignasus, these Mukshus, these Brahman Veshakas, across up against the flow of the river of world and worldliness, they swam, they reached the Brahma Tattva. We use the upadhis, see the world, get attracted in the world, get lost in it. They withdraw the upadhis, therefore no more see the world outside, then go beyond the inner upadhis, they reach the substratum, the Brahman. They are mukta. Dekh lo. Take your own time to feel about all these things, think about all these things, then assess and analyze what sort of life we are living. Is it according to this Shastra Jnana, Tattva Jnana, Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana? नहीं है तो फिर बदलो. That's called sadhaka. Sadhaka changes every his orientation, outlook, vyavahara. suiting to the realization of Brahman. For that, he'll have to have the convincing knowledge. For that only this regular Shravana, Adhyayana, Manana, Chintana of that Sadvastu with the examples. Spashtarupena Katakam is seen. Yet Katakam is not there. Swarnameva. Swarnam only called as Katak. Spashtarupena Jagat seen. Yet the Karana of the Jagat is Brahman. Without Swarna, no Kataka. Without Brahman, no Jagat. Therefore, Swarna alone is called as Kataka. Brahman alone is called as Jagat. But we have to realize the Swarnata. So we have to realize the Brahmatva. Then only we have the authority to say that everything is that Brahman and that Brahman is I am. Sarvam hi etat Brahma, I am Atma Brahma. Bas. Next, some more he says, Marunadyam yatha toyam dvitiyendau yathenduta nastyeveha jagannama dushtamapi amalatmani. This is a very Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. See, Maru Nadi, the river of the Marubhumi, the waters in the Mrigatrishna, Maru Marichika. The other day when we were traveling throughout the day, highway, very fantastic road. Doparik time, there was Nadi only on the road. Continuously the water same. But when you go there, there is no water. It's only mirage. So in that Maru Nadi is the Jala there. Maru Nadyam yatha toyam nasti eva. Second. Titi endau yathenduta. Two moons when they are seen because of eye defect. The second moon is never real. In the same way, Jagat Nama Nasti Eva. The entire Jagat is never there only. Where? Amalatmani, in that supreme pure Brahman, Drushtamapi, even though you see. Think about it. In that Marunadi, the Toyam Asti Iva Bhati. Very funny, no? To a naked eye. A deluded mind and intellect, to the naked eye, on that Marunadi, Toyam appears. But with the right pramana, when you go and see, Toyam Nasti Eva. So too, the eye defect, do Chandrama dikte. But the eye cataract operation karo, second moon gone, only one. In the same way, Jagat Nama Asti when we are ignorant and deluded. But when the wisdom is gained, delusion gone away, that Amala Atma, pure Brahman, alone is there. Jagat Nama Nasti Eva. But the underlining word is this. Remember, what is the Drushtamapi? Even though अज्ञान दृष्टि से उपाधियों के दृष्टि से जगत दिखता हुआ भी in its reality it is not there. दृष्टमपि अमलात्मनि जगत नाम नास्ति एव. Amalatmani, in that supreme Brahman, dushtamapi, even though seen, jagat nama, the entire jagat, nasti eva, never there. Like swapna, drushtam, but nasti eva. Lahar, drushtam, but nasti eva, in the pure water. Water alone is there. So, प्रभु के माया से जल लहर के रूप में दिख रहा होगा, लेकिन तुम्हारा अकल कहा गया कि तुम जल को देख नहीं पा रहे हो. देखो, Why the water appearing as wave? That is Ishvara Leela. But can't you see the water with your intellection and say that the wave is appearing but not real? तो अपना अकल यूज करो. In the same way, Jagat may be appearing because of Maya and Upadhis. But can't you use your Sukshma Vedantic Buddhi and discover the substratum Brahman and then say, Dushtamapi Nasti Eva. Though it is seen, still it is not there. Please remember, Jagat will not disappear for us to realize Brahman. Then what? The Brahman is realized, then Jagat is understood to be Brahman only, not independent of Brahman, existing by itself. No. Jagannama nasti eva amalatmani pare. है ना? मरुनद्याम यथा तोयम द्वितीयेन्दौ यथा इंदुता नास्ति एव इह जगन्नाम दुष्टमपि अमलात्मनि नास्ति एव. Continuation of this is what we have studied thoroughly in Mandukya Upanishad. Exactly the same meaning giving shloka. Words may be different. What is this? Only this much we'll see today. आदावेव हि यन्नास्ति कारणा संभवात् स्वयं वर्तमानेऽपि तन्नास्ति नाशः स्यात् तत्र कीदृशः. There it is. आदावन्ते च यन्नास्ति वर्तमानेऽपि तत्तथा विततैः सदृशाः सन्तः अवितता इव कल्पिताः. That which was not there in the beginning, adau nasti, that which will not be there toward the end, antena asti, vartamane api, appearing as something but nasti eva. Every example. In the pure gold, there was no ornament, the kataka. Later on, when the kataka is melted, this gold only will be there, no kataka. So in between also, the kataka appearing but not there. This knowledge we have to strengthen. In this only, the Vyatireka and Anvaya both are there. How the Vyatireka is done? That first, in the beginning, ornament was not there. In the end, ornament was not there. Therefore, in between, appearing, but it is not there. By this, the Vyatirekata, rejection of the ornament is done. What is Anvaya? In the beginning, gold was there. In the end, gold alone will be there. In between, though it is appearing as the ornament, it is gold only. That's called Anvaya. Before the creation was not there. End of the dissolution, creation will not be there. In between, appearing, it is not there. That's called Vyatireka Sadhana. Before the creation, Brahman is there. After the dissolution, Brahman will be there. In between, it is appearing as Jagat, but that is Brahman only. That's called Anvaya Sadhana. In Anvaya, Adi Madhyantame, Brahman alone is there, we realize it. In Vyatireka, Adi Madhyantame, Jagat is never there, that is realized. Problem is in the present only. That the Brahman is not seen, Jagat is seen. Here only the inquiry is required. The meditation is required, in which the Mano Kalpita Drushya Jagat is transcended. By transcending the mind, what we see is experience is Brahman alone. That's what is our homework or exercise. So, Adau eva hiyat nasti. In the beginning, that which is not there. Why? Karana asambhavat swayam. Because it has none of its own karana. The jagat ka swayam ka koi karana nahi hai. इसलिए in beginning it was not there. Vartamane pi tannasti. Right now also in the Vartamana, Jagat is not independent of the substratum, the Brahman. Then Nasha Sya Tatra Kidrushaha. In this context, the Nash ki baat ho rahi na. Therefore, that which was not there in the beginning, which is not there right now, what are you talking about? It's Nasha in the Bhavishyat Kala. You cannot talk it as the Nash also. जो है ही नहीं उसका जन्म मरण कैसा होता है ना? दिख रहा है लेकिन है ही नहीं. क्या है फिर? ब्रह्मन अलोन. Therefore, क्वा असंभवत भूतजाढ्यम पृथ्व्यादेर जड़वस्तुनः इत्यादि beautiful shlokas from 14 onwards we will be studying. Up to 33 we have in this Sarga. So 13 means 20 shlokas are there. 2 days we will study this Sarga will be over. Like that, one by one Sarga brings to our intellect the deeper, higher knowledge. But we have to contemplate on that knowledge and deepen it and make it our own. Start seeing the world from that standpoint from within while maintaining the outer decency, decorum, normally, like any normal human being. Don't disturb your outer vyavahara with your inner Vedantic ज्ञानम. व्यवहार जो है होता है उसमें बस सत्य पालन करो, धर्म का पालन करो, ड्यूटीज करो, वैल्यूज को प्रैक्टिस करो. दैट्स इट. Don't expect anything from the world. Whatever comes, you take it as prarabdha. Inner sadhana is going on. Outer duties continue. In this way, where to club these two, where to separate these two, that wisdom should be with us. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Come back to study our Hindi class on Prashnottara Ratnamalika.